This is Dr. Jack Barnathan, and with my good friend Danny Beasley from O3G Citizen, and truly not just a teacher, but I like referring to Danny as a revelatory guide. But this is the kind of person who can put his arm around you and say, okay, let me break it down for you. And you're going
Mhm.
to understand things that I think there's some churches that have tried for 2,000 years and have been having difficulties. Danny, it's so good to
Mm.
see you tonight, pal.
Great seeing you, Doc Jack.
Danny
Yeah.
just did a series that I'm so happy about, and I've already gone through it twice on true joy, the superpower strength, if you will, true joy. And it's Danny, it's wonderful, and I just want you to chat a little bit about it because there's a lot of people who will talk about a word like joy or a word like hope, but you're encouraging us, which so many people need. And
Mhm.
you and I were talking about statistics last week together when we were chatting that are frightening, especially young people. But then you're adding, and here's what we're backing it up with, and here's where you can look at uh, 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 the fruit of vision in terms of true joy, and knowledge that's divine and so forth. Just share a little bit about that, Danny.
Yeah, well, I think, talking about the subject of joy, Dr. Jack, it's closely, if not a brother of peace to me. They're kindred in a sense because, but I know that people uh, a lot of times will chase after, peace and joy. I've heard so many times, just give me peace, and they're
Mhm.
shouting from the rooftop, but they're saying they just want quiet or they want their circumstances to settle down. Or even when it comes to joy, it's more of a circumstantial type joy or circumstantial type peace. But one of the things I did in that series that I just posted was to separate uh, the peace and the joy out from circumstances and talk about the true peace that comes from a knowing,
Yeah.
a knowing that generates from the inside of you. Because when people have true peace, no matter what the circumstances is that's going on, or true joy, it does the circumstances don't matter. As a matter of fact, the crazier the circumstances get, the more true peace gets stronger, because you can kind of anchor your understanding on something that's greater than what you see. And anything that you see right now is temporal because the law of change will take effect. There's a law that is called change, that
Mhm.
it will take effect in every circumstances. There's nothing that's going to stay the same, and most people look at circumstances or fall into different traps and really don't have an anchor, so they of true peace in their soul.
Yeah.
So unfortunately people get caught in chasing after this circumstantial peace, a circumstantial joy, and you never get to the place where it doesn't come from that. You never get to the place where you can settle in and understand where real peace and real joy come from. And that's tied to a knowledge of understanding you and understanding the purpose that you're here to fulfill.
Yeah. And Danny, I think more people, not just young people, I think everybody needs to be either hear it for the first time or reminded of it that,
Mhm.
yeah, you're here for something, there's a purpose, and it's higher than you, and it's
Mhm.
smarter than you.
Yeah.
And there are steps that you help people to see, to tap into and become infused with it. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Danny, this is one of your best. I think we're going to talk more on this. Maybe hope next week. We can talk about a little bit in terms of the two and maybe the fine line between them. But This was fantastic, Danny. Thank you so
Mm,
much, Danny.
absolutely, Dr. Jack. You take care.
Thank you.